What's up, YouTube? Been a little while since I've sat down and chat with you guys. It's actually a really nice day out today, so thought I'd take this opportunity. Hopefully the wind's not too bad for you guys. It's a little breezy, but try to get through it. But anyway, I actually wanted to just kind of chat with you guys about partially why I haven't been putting so much up. It's not necessarily that I don't have things to talk about. It's more along the lines of the things that I want to talk about aren't always the most popular views or what they want put out there. So sometimes that makes it a little tough. But with everything going on, I do hope everybody's paying attention to what's going on. There's a lot of channels out there. To name a couple real quick, actually, Canadian Prepper. I've been following him for quite a while. He does some pretty good work on what's going on or what could be going on. Southern Prepper 1 also has been doing a boots on the ground. I'm not going to say it's the most entertaining. Sorry guys, I know the wind's picking up a little. I won't say they're the most entertaining videos, but at the same time, he's doing videos with people emailing him with what's going on in their area, and then he's letting you know, which is kind of handy because take me for example, I can sit here on YouTube or watch the news or whatever to get my information, but a lot of times what they tell us is happening and what people themselves say is happening can be two different things. It's like with food shortages. I'm hearing a lot of places in certain areas might be having issues. Many areas aren't. I can tell you from my standpoint, as I've mentioned before, I'm in mid-Michigan, and really things have been pretty good. In fact, as I just mentioned, the weather's been nice. We've actually been getting a little bit of rain lately, which we needed, but at the same time, everything's green. I kind of need to mow my backyard, but I mean, things have been good here. All in all, gas prices are even down since the last time I posted a video, which is great, of course. I think everybody needs a little bit of relief wherever we can get it, when we can get it. And the reason I'm bringing some of these things up is I know I have some prepper style videos up here on my video or on my channel, but I do think it's important to have even just a few days worth of stuff handy and enough of a plan for multiple scenarios that you can get by. Take, where is it, Tennessee, Kentucky area. I know there was some flooding and stuff going on there. If you had a bad bag packed and always had some sort of a plan in mind for something like that happening, grabbing a couple of things and getting out of Dodge isn't a big deal. If you have no plan whatsoever and something like that happens, it can be very confusing and stressful. It already is stressful. One prep that I think a lot of people overlook, including me in a lot of ways, is a fire. And I bring that up because I'm not necessarily referring to a wildfire. I'm just referring to your house catching on fire. Anybody who has any sort of prep mentality probably knows that's a very bad thing to happen if you're a prepper and all your preps are at your home. Which is once again another reason why I say having a plan for every situation is a great idea. And sorry to jump into the prepper chat, but again, there's a lot going on. I don't want to say too much about the whole Trump ordeal that's going on in Florida. I don't really want to say too much about that. I don't know a whole lot about it other than, it's funny. I probably shouldn't talk too much about this, but back when things started in Ukraine there was a documentary that I watched. It's called Ukraine on Fire. At least I think that's the one it was. I watched a couple of them, but I think it was that one that was talking about how politics went in Ukraine for a while and how they went back and forth between left and right. And granted, I suppose in a lot of ways it was a bit more extreme over there, but in short, every time they went from left to right, there was a lot of, I don't want to say riots, but yeah, they had a lot of issues every time they went from left to right. And I think that's kind of coincidental with Trump and how he got his 4 years in between the two people that he did. Yeah, I absolutely see him coming back in a couple of years, and part of me thinks that that's the plan, to keep this heavy left, heavy right, back and forth. Again, I guess I'm not going to say too much about it other than just pay attention, but don't dive right into what they are telling you to dive right into. Just do what you think is best. And let's see. On that note, I'm already going off on a bit of a tangent. That's probably part of why I haven't been posting so much, is because it's getting harder and harder not to go off on tangents. And as I said, I know, it's funny because I do actually think a lot of people might agree with a lot of the things I say. It's more of it's not real popular to have put out there anymore. And that makes me wonder how much of myself I want to put out there, if that makes any sense. But it has been a while since I posted anything. I know I don't have the biggest following here on YouTube, but for those of you that have been following me for a while, I do appreciate you. You are the reason why I'm making this video right now. I don't want to leave people hanging. Not that I started the biggest channel or endeavor here on YouTube, but I would like to at times. It's nice to be able to vent and actually think at least a few of you out there might care. So I don't know. I don't necessarily want to sit here and go off on too much more of a tangent. I've already made this much longer than I anticipated making it. But it's good to see everybody, and do me a favor. If you want to see more of me babbling in my backyard or rambling in my backyard, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, and let me know that you want to see whatever it is you want to see. I do have a few backyard gardening type of videos that I'd like to do again, just because I do think more people should start doing this kind of stuff, and I actually think more people should start doing it naturally. I'll get more into that hopefully in a future video, but in short, if you can make your own dirt, so to speak, rather than going out and buying it, by using stuff you already eat and stuff you already have around the house, so to speak, to fertilize it. Besides that, before I go, I do want to say that if you have a few extra bucks, I do recommend grabbing a little extra food, a little extra supplies. Shoot, now that I think about it, I do kind of have to get into this a little bit. We've been talking about Ukraine a lot over the past year, right? And all the sanctions that happened over there. When those sanctions happened, how many times have you walked into a store as an American and found something on the shelf that said made in Russia? I don't think I've ever seen it in my lifetime. And I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but let's face it, relations between Russia and America haven't always been great Therefore, trade hasn't been. I'm bringing this up because there's a lot of talk about Taiwan. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because I just want to point out that if the same sort of sanctions were to happen between them and us, now I want you to think about how often you see something on the shelf made in China. Because if that stops, it's going to create some issues, people. So, if you use it and you think it might be made there, it's worth having. And unfortunately, that goes for a lot of medicines, which that's the scary part. But do what you can while you can. I'm not saying that's going to happen tomorrow, but I do see it happening, say, within the next year for sure, just because of who we have in power. So, yeah, I think that's probably about the best place to leave this video because I've probably already said more than I should. But once again, do me a favor, hit that like button if you like seeing this kind of stuff, because if I get more likes, it makes me more apt to put myself out there and put this stuff up. So with that said, I'm just going to leave this here. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you have a great day. Take care, y'all.